let's wait for a minute for other participant to join. Okay, so they still need to join. We will start our lecture within a minute. Hi, Mohammed. Good morning. Good evening. All right. So I think we can start now. So yesterday we have discussed about the um, Git, and we have also discussed about what is GitHub, but we did not do any practical so far for the GitHub. Git, we have, okay, so there is, can you please save the chat history? Uh, Chat history. Okay, we will see this chat history if I can do. I will try that. Okay. So now let me just open the uh, our website. Let's go to DevOps tutorial and let us go to the Git version control system. Okay. Okay, and we have discussed about the Git config. Let me just repeat. Yesterday we have seen that how to use the Git config, right? In the Git config, this is the configuration file. Yeah, 1 second. I will share this link. It is DevOps world.co.in. Okay, right. So we have discussed there are two types of configuration file. One is the local configuration file, and other is the global configuration file. So if you have a system where you are basically having a single single system where you are writing your code and you are the owner, in that case global configuration is the much suitable option. And if you are creating a project on a shared system like shared development box, then you can use the local configuration file. So here you can see there is one use case I have discussed. So Ritika is a software developer and she works on a project, let's say my project. Her laptop on a project on her laptop and manage her project repository using the Git. She wants to set up the author of the project um, with her name and email address so that she commits the code changes to the local repository. Then it records her name and later she push the code, she push these changes to the global repository. Okay, so what is the situation? So there is a software developer Ritika and she wants that uh, her code will be recorded with her name as a author name, right, in all the projects. So when she push the changes into the global repository like GitHub, then she must it must be recorded with her name. Okay, if there are multiple developers work and they are working on their own system, they want to create the global repository. So here, step one, we will create my project. So yesterday okay, so let me open those both the system. Um, if you are working on the Linux operating system, let me increase little bit font of this. Uh, Font is okay. Okay, so let me open the command prompt, and I will open the that. Let's see where we have created the file yesterday. We have created, I think, test series test, and if I say dir, so we have not this one. We will create a new one. Okay, so let me open the my Linux box. Linux box means I'm opening that Vagrant machine which I have created yesterday. Okay, so let me open that one. So that is test, not temp. Okay, so I'm here, and if I say dir vagrant file is there, right? If I say vagrant ssh, so I will go inside the virtual box. So meanwhile, I will open my virtual box also. Okay, so I'll say vagrant up command first. So it will start the virtual machine. So what I'll do, I will create one notepad file side by side. So I will copy the commands which I am executing over here, and I will share these commands with you. Okay, so this vagrant box is getting started. Okay, it is started. Now I will say SSH. Oh, sorry, not here. I will say vagrant SSH. Okay, so it will bring me inside the virtual machine. Okay, so I'm inside the vagrant box. Let me minimize this up till here. And so here I will log in with the root user, CLS, oh, sorry, clear command. And if we try to change the host name, let me change the host name as okay, git server sub, git server. Okay, bash. Okay, so this looks good. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to discuss this case study. Okay, so in this case study, what we are going to do, first we need to create a project. If you are using Windows, what you can do, you can create a directory. So I will create under C temp, I will create one directory. say call it my project. Okay, so that is first thing which we need to do. So we need to create the project directory. Then we need to run the git init command. So to open this, you need to use the git bash here. Okay, so this is my git bash, and let me just make it with the same size as we have made for the. Okay, commands will be exactly same. That's what I'm saying. Whether you are using Linux box, Mac box, Git, and Windows box. Okay. So yesterday I have given you one command, git init. Git init command to initialize the Git repository, right? And then uh, if I say ls minus la, so there is a .git directory get created. And also I have shown you yesterday in the user directory, means in the Linux box, it is root directory. If you are logged in with the root user, it create one .config file. So that is what uh, this user wants. This user wants to create a want to set up the global repository, which is git config global user.name Ritika. And also she wants to set the email as her email address. Fine. So these three commands, which I have, or you can directly copy paste from here as of now. I will copy it here. Okay, and I'll copy this here. Okay, and the git init command. So we have created these three commands. Okay, now next command, I want to create a file. Okay, touch my file.txt file. Okay, so I'm creating a file. So let us create that file. So touch command is basically used to create an empty file. So file get created. So if you see ls, my file 1.txt got created, right? Now what I want to do, I want to store this file into my GitHub repository, right? I want to keep this file into my GitHub repository. Okay, one thing which I need to discuss here before moving ahead of this example, there are three stages. Okay, so there are three stages to move the file into the GitHub repository, and that we will discuss in detail. So, but here it is important to understand that. So there are uh, three stages of the there are three stages to move the file in local Git repository. Stage number one, it is untracked file. So what is untracked file? Untracked file means the files which you have created, but you did not put it into the, uh, you did not make it in such a way that it can store it into the GitHub repository, because this is your working file, okay, or working directory. So untracked file is those file like I have created file 1.txt. So this file is basically untracked file. If you want to track any file, then first you need to move it into the stage area. So what is stage area? Means files which are in stage area can be committed. Okay. Only the files, untracked file you cannot directly commit it into the Git repository. But the files which are, so first untracked file, so they must go into the stage area, and we use a command to move a file into the stage area, git add and the file name. Okay. And if you want to move all the files in one shot, then git add dot or star. So it means all the untracked files will move into the stage area. And third one is committed file, commit files. So how to commit the files? You can use git commit -m. -m indicates message. Say you are writing some message here, meaningful message for your commit. So when you do this, then the files get committed. It is no more in the untracked area. It is no more in the stage area. It is committed to your local. It means you have created a version of your application. Whenever you are doing a commit, you are creating a version. And if you want to see that whatever means what are the commits I have done, for that there is a command which is git log, or you can write git log means one line space hyphen hyphen one line. Okay, so these three things you need to keep it in your mind all the time whenever you are using the git, whenever you are using the git repository. Okay, so now let us go back to our example. So I have created one file, my file1.txt, and I want to check what is the status of my repository. So I will say git status. So git status basically tells you that there is one untracked file. You can see that file with the red color. So if it is in red color, it is untracked. So it means this is your working directory, working file on which you are working. Okay, so currently you did not decide that this file can go into the Git repository. Okay, so now next I want to move this file into the stage area. So for that I will say git add and your file name, which is my file underscore 1.txt file. Okay, so with this command the file goes into the stage area. Okay, file goes into the stage area. So if I say git status again, so now you can see the file is in the stage area. All right, now next I want that this file should be committed. It should go into the GitHub repository. Now when I commit the file, it will record the author name and author email ID. So because I have set the global configuration file for this user, so it will be recorded as author name Ritika and author email ritika@gmail.com. Okay, so let us see that. So if I say git commit -m, So I simply say my file underscore one dot txt is added, and this is mandatory part. You need to give the message because commit ID is unique. It is not a it's not like a your normal text. So so we use the -m message. So this command, right? So okay, so now if I say git status again, okay, if I say git status again, so now you can see nothing to commit, everything is committed. So I was having single file and that is committed. Now next, to see our commit, what you need to use? You need to use git log command. So let us see the git log command. So when I run this command, see what it is saying: author, okay, this is author name, and uh, this is the email. Okay, so what email we have set? We have okay, actually it should be email, so that's why it took the old email. Okay, so you just correct it over here, or I will correct also. Okay, so it should be user dot email, not user dot name. It's user dot email, so then you will get the correct result. Okay. Okay, so this is fine. So this is one use case when developer is working on his or her laptop. Now, second case study. In the second case study for the local configuration. So in this case study, again, same user is going to work on a shared system. Okay, then how this will be recorded? So we are going to create a project which is local configuration project. So I will create a directory, right? So I'll go to this. I will go one step up and I will create a directory. If you are using Linux or Mac, you say mkdir. So this directory get created. So what I'll do here, I will close this and I will open a git bash here. Okay. Again, let me increase the size of this window. Right. Now I need to, so this is, let me give all these commands to you. Okay. So now this is for the case study 1. Now let us talk about case study 2. Now, case study 2. In case study 2, we are going to put it into the local repository. Right? So, first command is same, git init. I need to initialize the directory. So directory is initialized. Now, I need to set up the local configuration file. So here I need to, now this time I will change it. So we need to change the, we need to change the username for the local configurations. So here, actually, okay, I will correct this on my notes. It should be, so the name of the local level, right? So it should be local. Okay, user dot email I am giving, right? So we will run this command now on our Git repository. Okay, so both the commands get executed, right? So once the configuration is set, now we will create a file. Okay, so you see we are going to create a file, say same file I am creating. Okay, so I will create that file. Right, and uh, now I want to see the Git status. It should be untracked file. Okay, so Git status, and you can see this is untracked file. Now what I will do, I will add this file, git add, and uh, this my file underscore one dot txt. Okay, so we will run this command. So file is added. Again, you can check the git status. So it is in the stage area. Okay. Now I need to commit this. Git commit -m file my file my file underscore one dot txt is added. Okay, so I will run this command. So my commit is I have added a commit, and then I will see the git log. Now you will see it will be local configuration file, which is dev underscore Ritika and dev underscore Ritika at gmail.com. Okay, so I hope everyone understood this. What is uh, Git? What is the purpose of Git config, local and global? So I'll give both these commands to all of you. Okay. So now let us move further. Okay. So this part you can go and you can check it yourself. Okay. Now let us move to the next topic, which is the Git save changes. Okay. Git save changes means, again we are talking about these three things. One is Git okay, so Abria, you have any question? Abira? I'm not able to hear you. Okay, Rajesh, you have any question?
Are you able to hear me,
Yeah,
Raman?
yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So I just need that exact difference. So the just let me know whether I'm understanding correctly or not. So the local which we are working in, if we are working in a local system to maintain the project repository for our system, we are using the global commands, global config, right?
Yes, yes.
And the local is to maintain the repository for the what is that exactly, like we are maintaining it for the
So if
to
you have
with
the shared system where multiple developers are working, so you don't want to use the global configuration, you want to use your own user ID and password for your project, sorry, username and the email, then you create the
Hmm.
local configuration file.
Okay, so that my work or my project, even other developers can also view it.
That is a separate thing. So first, we are just concentrating on our project. So our project
Okay.
will be basically recorded with our name, like author name and email. That we will see how the others can see it.
Okay. So just if you don't mind, just explain me one last time about the local configuration. Global,
Local
I'm clear.
local configuration means, for example, you are creating a project, and if you are creating that project on a development box where other developers also develop the project, so their global configuration will not help you, because global means global for all the projects. So your project is having your own configuration, like your author name and author email. So if you want to keep that author name and author email for your project, then you use the local configuration. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah, Rajesh, you have any question? You need to unmute.
Uh,
Yeah.
so I'm actually I'm coming from the network security background. So
Mhm.
this is everything for me.
Mhm.
So I might have really basic questions. So what is basically this Git is we are, I mean, in actual development scenario, what are the things are actually used? This they use really this Git, or they use that cloud-based GitHub thing
Both we
in
use
the
for local system repository. We use Git. For to keep it on the global, we use the GitHub.
so, okay.
Okay. So
So if
we'll
you
discuss Git and GitHub in more detail once we see what is.
in practice scenario, how this Git is used in the production?
So in practical scenario, it's basically the developer who is developing the code, and he's maintaining the different versions on his system. So then he keep that different commits on his system only. Then Git is used. And once he is finalizing the thing, that okay, I need to keep it into a central repository, which is my GitHub. Then he push all the changes to the GitHub.
Okay.
All right.
So I just do the I'm solution architect for the security piece of it. So this is just one piece of it which I don't understand. That is why I'm trying to learn
No, no
these
issue,
things.
no issue. You can ask any question. I will answer all your
So I'll
questions.
have very basic question. I can understand
No,
people
no,
from the
no,
other
no
end are
issue, no issue. If you ask the question, your knowledge will be increased.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Sandeep, go ahead. Sandeep, I am not able to hear you.
Yes, now I think you can able to hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my question is, whatever the command that we have used right now, be it git add, or git status, or git commit. So once I use this git commit, is it visible in the GitHub? I mean, in the central
No, not on
the
the GitHub. It is so far on the local system.
Okay.
All right, guys. So let me move further then. And now we will discuss commands one by one. Save the changes. Save the changes on your Git repository, right? Git. So whenever you see Git, Git means local, and GitHub is the global. Okay. So Git is used for the local, and GitHub is used for the global. We have not discussed anything about the GitHub so far, and I will explain you that what is GitHub also. But before that, let us concentrate on the local repository first. So first thing is the git ignore, .git ignore. So this is basically a file which says that you can ignore the files which you don't want to put it into the Git repository. So for example, if I go back here and okay, so for example, I have these files, right? So one file, which is, if I say git status, it is committed, right? Now, what I want to do, I want to create two more files. Say touch, one.log file, and one.exe file, and one.txt file. So I have created these three files. Okay, log file, exe file, and the text file. But I don't want to track the changes in the exe file. So exe is your build file, which is a code which you need to use to execute the application. So I don't want to use this particular application or this particular exe file to store it into the Git repository, because this does not make any sense to keep this file into the repository, because Git is mostly used for your code repository, not for the exe or log files. So what you can do, you can create a file which is dot git ignore. Okay, so you can use vi editor, or you can use cat command, whatever is suitable to you. So I'm appending into the file dot git ignore. Okay, so in this file, what I'm writing that the files which you don't want to track. So I'm saying one.exe file. You can put the wildcard characters as well, star.log file also. Okay, and I'll save this file. Now see, if I say git status, so these two, one.txt file is only appeared here, and .git ignore. So if you don't want git ignore also keep it into your repository, what you can do, you can add the git ignore also under git ignore. You can put .git ignore, so it will ignore this file also. Okay, so if I say git status now, so you can see only one.txt, which is the untracked file. It is not tracking one.exe and one.log file. Okay, so what I have done, let me repeat. First, I have created, okay, so this is for the git ignore. So first thing what I have done, I have created these files, right? Second step, I have created this git ignore file, right? So in the .git, it's a hidden file, and in this file, what I have done, I have created my log exe I kept one.exe and star.log file. Okay, so after that, I checked the status, which is the git status, and I found that it is showing .git ignore and one.txt file. Then I don't want to see this. Okay, so there is a question, what is cat this command? This command is basically used to append in a file or create. First, if that file does not exist, it creates the file and append into that. So you can say append into the file, writing into the file. Okay, so when I see git status, so I see that git ignore and one.txt file is there. Then I have created one more, means I have appended into my file again that dot git ignore, right? And then again, if I see the git status, so it is not showing dot git ignore, it is only showing one dot txt. Okay, so this is the practical use of the control C you need to put to save the file, okay, at the end. Okay, so this is git ignore usage, right? Now let us move to the next part, which is the git command. I have already discussed about the commands git init. You already know now. This command is used to initialize your directory with git repository, and git init is the command. Git status also you know. This command is used to check the status of the local git repository. Untracked file by default, it shows red color. So untracked files are showing as a red color. Stage files shown as a green color. And if all the files of the git repository are committed, then it shows nothing to commit. Okay, you can run this git status command. Now next is the git add command. Git add command again we have discussed. Now let us discuss in little bit more detail. So this is the so now I will be talking about the git add command. So this command is basically storing the data into the stage area. Okay, in the stage area of git repository. Now what I will be doing here, I'm saying git status. So you can see there is one .txt file, it is untracked file, and I want to move it into the stage area. So you can run a command which is basically git add and then the file name, right? So I'm adding a file. Say if you put dot, it will move all the untracked file into the stage area. So if I put dot, so all the untracked files are in. So I have only one .txt. So if I say git status, so you can see one .txt file is one dot. Okay, sure, Rajesh. Okay, so now what you can do, now this file goes into the stage area and you want to revert back. You want to make it untracked. You say, oh, this is by mistake. I kept it into the stage area. I need to undo this changes. To undo this changes, what I'll do, I will say, you can see here, the changes to be commit. This is to unstore. You can run this command, git restore stage. Okay, so if I say git restores stage, right, and your file name. So my file name is one.txt file. Okay, so I'm saying git restore. So now this file will be unstaged, means it will go into the untracked area. So if you say git status, so now you can see file is unstaged. Okay, so what I have done, let me repeat. I run this command git add to add the file. Okay, git restore stage to move back to the untracked file. Okay, so untracked file to stage area, git add command, and to revert back, git restore command. Okay, so if you want to add it again, so you can say git and git add one.txt file. Then so if I say git and status, so it is stage git commit -m and the file name one.txt file is added. Okay, so this is my git commit and git Commit is done. So once you see the commit, then you will say git status. Okay. So it is nothing to commit. Everything get committed. So you can run this command again, git add. So okay, so there is a question that git ignore files, how you can move it into the staging or untracked file. You just remove that from the .git ignore file. So whatever the entry you want to make it as a untracked or stage, you just put it into the, you just remove it from the git ignore file. Okay, so what command I have done, git add one.txt and then git commit -m and one.txt file is added. Great. Now, how to remove the ignore file? Just remove it, delete rm and the file, it will be deleted. Okay, so this is your git add. Now, let us okay, so let me just copy this entire thing. Okay. Now, let us talk about the git commit. Now you know. Okay, so there is one more command you can use for removing the file from the to unstage, that is -- cache. So for example, if I say, if I create a file now, if I say touch and say 2.txt file, and if I say git add 2.txt file is in the stage, git status, so file is in the stage area, right? And I want to unstage it. So you can use this command also, git rm cache and your file. Okay, so I will say, oh, okay, so this is something wrong happened. Okay, so I did not copy properly. So if I say git status, okay, so actually there is some mess up happened. Let me do it again. So I will create touch and 3.txt file. Okay, and if I say git add 3.txt file. Okay, if I say git status, okay, so 3.txt file is in the stage area. Now I will say, I will use this command git rm cache it, and cache it spelling is correct here, and then the file which is 3.txt file. Okay, so this file is removed, and if I say git status, now you can see file is in the untracked area. Okay, from stage to untracked area. You can use this command also. You can use the restore command also, cache command or the restore command. You can also, so if I add this file again, git add, git and add 3.txt file. You can use git reset command also. Okay, so what is git reset does? So if you see, there is a git reset command and then the file name which is 3.txt. This will also do the similar kind of activity. So we will discuss about git reset in detail in a bit, but this command is also pushing the file back to the untracked file. If I say git status, so you can see file is untracked. Okay, so let me take this history. Okay, so what I have done from here. Okay, so let me just add it into my file. So we can use these commands also, which is basically used to bring back the uh, it will basically bring back your files from stage area to untrack. Okay. Now git commit command. So git commit command we have already discussed, right? Which is basically commit the code, right? So let us go back here. So git commit command, you have to write git commit -m and then some message, and that message should be meaningful because it is uh, because it is showing that what is the purpose of your commit or of a particular commit. So say an example, you have created this 3.txt file and then you have uh, committed it and you added some text that 3.txt file is added. So you know what this commit is doing, right? So uh, now let us see the git log command. Again, git log command we have discussed. Git log command is basically used to show you what are the commits you have done. Okay, so if I go back and if I say, if I clear this one and history -c, okay, and let's see, history is clear, right? Okay. Now, if I say git status, okay, 3.txt file is there, right? Which is untracked. I will add it. Git add 3.txt file. Git commit -m 3.txt file is added. Okay. Now, if you want to see the log, what are the different commits happened, you can run a command git log command. So with the git log command, it shows the commits. So what is the commit and this big number? So this big number indicates that it's a commit ID. For every commit, there is a unique commit ID. Headmaster, so head is pointing to the master, means where your current pointer is. So currently I am in the master branch. So master branches we will discuss in a bit, but it basically refers that uh, where your pointer is. Okay, and then author name and date, and this is the commit message. If you see that you don't need that many information, so you can run a command git log -one line. So when you run this, it is a short method, or it gives you the summary kind of thing for your git commits. So now the big number is converted into small number, that commit ID, and it will show the message on. All right, so uh, git log command. Now let us move to the next git difference command. Okay, so what is git difference command? So for example, I will modify the file which is 3.txt file. Okay, so I will add some text. So I am adding this is the new line. So once I add this, now I will say git difference. Okay, so it is showing that the difference between the last commit of 3.txt and the difference between this is that you have added a new line. Plus means you have added a new line. Do you want to commit this? Yes, I want to commit this, and I will use a command which is git commit -m. I'll say 3.txt file is modified. Okay. So, okay, this I did not put it into the stage area, so that's why it is complaining. So I will say git add 3.txt file. Now, okay, if I say git status, okay, now if I say git commit -m and 3.txt file is added. Yeah, no need to provide the file. Or you can say 3.txt file is modified, not added. Okay, so now if I say git log and one line. So if you want to compare between this commit and this commit, what is the difference? That also you can do. You can run git diff and this commit ID and this commit ID. Okay, I want to see the difference. So you can see the difference in this way. Okay. So Sridhar, is it clear to you? So instead of giving the file name, you need to give the commit ID. Okay. So now let us move to next topic, git reset command. So see what I have done. I have done the I have created some file here, right, which is 3.txt. If you want to reset the changes, previous changes, last commit changes, okay, then you you can use the reset command. So reset basically comes with the three options: mixed, soft, and hard. So, and it is only for the consecutive head. So I will show you one example here. For example, I'm going to create a file 4.txt and I will say git add dot and I will say git status. Okay. And if I say git commit -m and I'll say 4.txt is added. Okay. So now this file is committed. This file is committed. So if I say git status, so nothing to commit because this file is committed. Now I want to reset. I want to revert back. What you want to revert back? You want to revert back your last commit. Okay. So then you can use the git reset command. Okay. Git reset, and what I want to reset my head one. Head means where is the head position? It is on the last commit. So if I say git, and by default it is mixed mode. Okay, if you don't put, it is a default, and I'll say head. And so what I'm saying, the last commit is to be reset. So if I run this command, now if I say git status, see 4.txt file is untracked. It was committed, right? And then I run this git reset head one. So it took the last commit. So if I say git log one line, so now you can see the log is pointing to previous commit, which is 3.txt, whereas I have added one more commit after that, which is 4.txt. It is not, it is deleting that commit and moving the pointer to the its previous commit and make this file into the untracked folder. Okay, so this is git reset or git reset mixed mode. Now next is the, if I repeat this step, git add and 4.txt and git commit -m, and if I say 4.txt is added. Okay, if I say git log hyphen hyphen one line, so it means 4 dot. So my last commit is 653 something, and it is my head position is saying that you are on this commit. You have done this commit lastly, which is the 4.txt file is added. Now, if I say git so hyphen hyphen git reset hyphen hyphen soft and the head, so it always take the from the consecutive, means head 1 head 2. So if you want to reset last two, you need to say 2. Okay, so I'm doing 1. So now so reset soft, what it will do, it will not move it to the untracked area, it will move it to the stage area. Now if I say git status, so you can see my file earlier when I used the mixed mode, it was in the untracked area. Now it is in the stage area. Okay, and if I say git log hyphen hyphen one line, so you will find that that commit is removed, and again it is pointing to the previous commit, right? So if I say git add, because the file is in the stage area, if I say git commit, okay, git add is not required, actually it was already there. So if I say git, now again I will say 4.txt is added. Okay, now if I say git log hyphen hyphen one line, so you will see again I have one more commit which is saying 4.txt is added. Now if you want to delete this file permanently, even from the untracked, then you can use the git reset hard command. It is a very dangerous command. You need to think a lot before using this command, because it is deleting the changes of this commit. So in my case, if I say git reset and hyphen hyphen hard, and if I say my head, this is the head and 1, so it will delete that particular file. Delete the file means it just undo the commit completely. The commit which we have used for the 4.txt from the beginning, means untracked is also removed. So if I say git status, so you can see nothing to commit, and if I say ls 4.txt file is removed. Okay, 4.txt file is removed. So that is the git reset hard. Okay, and if I say git log hyphen hyphen one line, so that commit is totally removed. Okay, let me run this history command and let me give this to you guys. So I'm giving on the chat window, as well as I will be recording here. I will share with you later also. All right. Now, so this is the reset command, right? So now let me clear the history -c. All right. So git reset command we have discussed, right? And next is the git revert command. So what is git revert command? Git revert command is basically used for revert back the changes of any commit. So reset command is only working on the last commit, recent commits. Whereas git revert, you can revert back the changes to any okay, so there is a question. The question is, what will happen if we point head to? So it will remove the last two commit. Okay, Pooja? Last two consecutive commit. Okay. Okay. Now next is the revert command. So what is revert command? Revert command is used to revert back the changes, roll back the changes of your code. So say an example, you are working on a let me just go back to my MS Paint. And for example, you are working on a file 1.txt, and you have added line 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you have added 5 lines and you committed the code. After that, you make some more commit changes, means commit 1, 2, 3, 4. Means after 5, you have added 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So now you have multiple versions, multiple commits, and you want to revert back to a particular commit. Okay. If you want to revert back a particular commit, you can do that with the git revert command. So let us see how to do that. So for that, I'll go back here and I will create one file, say touch 4.txt. Okay, git add dot git commit -m, and I'll say 4.txt is added. Okay, now what I will do, I will do one more. I will add some data inside this 4.txt file. I will say new line edit. Okay, Control C to save it. Now, if I say git status, so now you can see 4.txt file is 4.txt file is modified. It is untracked. Now I will say git add dot git commit and -m. I will say 4.txt is modified. Okay. So now if I say git log -- one line, so now you can see I have a commit when the 4.txt was modified, and other commit which says that 4.txt is added. I want to revert back the change. See, when you use git reset command, so git reset command remove the complete commit, but git revert command will not remove the commit. If you are making any rollback, then it will record as a new commit. So for example, if I see what is in the 4.txt, right? So you can see new line is added. So this code is added over here. I want to revert back this change. See, there is a commit, last commit 4.txt file is modified. So I want to revert back this change. So for that, what I'll do, git revert and your commit ID. So this is my commit ID. Okay, git revert and my commit ID. So now it will open one window in front of you to just, if you want to type some message that why you are reverting. It's a VI editor, and you can just say escape colon WQ. Okay, so I want to put this message in my commit 4.txt file is modified. That is reverted. Okay, so see one. So if I say cat 4.txt, first of all, this is reverted back. That changes are reverted back. Now, if I say git log one line, so you will see there is a new commit is added, and this new commit is saying that this particular 4.txt is reverted. That changes are reverted back. Now again, it is up to you. If you want to say an example, 1.file is added, 3.file is added, 3.5. So whatever the change you want to revert back, you can revert back. So for example, if I say 3.txt, okay. So if I say cat 3.txt, so there is a line added over there. If I want to revert back this change, so this is on this commit. That's why these messages are very useful when you are performing this revert back or reset kind of thing. Okay, so by seeing this message, you know that what that commit has done. Let me clear the screen first, and let me run that command again. So I want to revert back this change for the 3.txt. So I will say git and revert, and I want to revert back this change. Okay, so this message revert 3.txt file is modified. I'm okay with this message. WQ exclamation, right? So now if I say cat 3.txt, it is blank because I can revert back from any point. In the reset, you can only remove the commits in the recent, means recent one, recent two, these head positions of the commits you can change. But here you can revert back to any commit, okay, and your commit will be always there. Can we do a revert to revert back? What is -1 into -1? It is 1, right? So it means if I say I want to revert back to, so let us first see the git log --1 line, right? So here I want to revert to this revert, means I want to move back the changes. So let us try this. So if I say git revert and I want to revert this commit, okay, revert, right? So I'll say save. Okay, if I say git log --1 line, so revert 3.txt file is modified is done. So it means if I read the 3.txt file, so that line is came back because I did the revert to revert again. So this way we are using the git revert command. Okay, so let me run the history. So guys, you spend some time on these commands. Okay, means you might be understanding when I'm showing you here. I will give you one assignment. After that, you need to solve that assignment to check whether you understand the concept clearly or not. Great. Now next is, let me clear the history. Okay, now next what I want to do, I want to talk about the GitHub. So what is GitHub? Okay, so there is one more command after that, which is stash command. So that I will discuss later because it needs the branching information. So now I'm going to do the GitHub and GitHub pull and push commands. So what is the GitHub? GitHub is a repository which is globally available. It can have the public and private repository. Now, for companies' point of view, the companies, they have their own GitHub. They purchase that GitHub repository, and so that their employees or their project team members, they can use that GitHub repository for their version control system. So GitHub repository is basically is a global repository. So whatever the commits we are doing on our local system, ultimately we want to push it into the global repository, because if something is on your local system, it is only used by you. But if you want to share with others, ultimately your code will go into the central repository, and that central repository is the GitHub. So first of all, you have to create an account in the GitHub repository. Once you have the account in the GitHub repository, so our account creation is very simple. So if I say github.com and if I log out from my account, so you will get such kind of such kind of web page, you need to click on sign up and you need to create your account. Okay, very simple step. There is no rocket science for this. So once it is created, you will get one notification on your email. So you need to verify your email address. And after that, you can sign in. Okay, so I'm signing with my account, right? So once I will be able to sign in, then you will see something start project and or new. So you can click either of these. So I have created some repositories here. Okay, so you can click on the new. So when I click on new, so it is asking, so first this is your username. So in my case, my username is KMIT solution and the repository name. So repository name is what global repository you want to create. So I want to create some repository, your wish, whatever you want to create. So I will say, we'll create test repo. Okay, it is already created. So I will create test only. Okay, so this is my repository name. Whether it's a public repository or private. So if it is private, then you need to pay the amount. If it is public, you can create unlimited files into this. So public is free of cost and private, you need to pay the amount. So I'm selecting public repository. Okay, because I don't want to pay the money. If you want to add either of these files, readme, .gitignore or your license file, you can add it. I'm not adding at this moment. I will say create repository. Okay, so now once this is done, so your repository is created. And if I click on HTTPS, so this is the URL, which you can share with others by saying that this is my public repository and my files are available here, you can download it. Okay, so in that case, basically this HTTPS URL is important for me. What I'm going to do now, I want that whatever the data stored in my local repository or whatever the files or project files which I have stored in my local repository, it is to be pushed to the remote repository. Okay, so but before that I should be the authorized user. See, when I say it's a public, it does not mean the other people uh, can modify my files. Only the owner can modify the file. Okay, so I'm the owner of this repository. Now I want to create some files. I want to push some files. So push file means you need the right permission and only the owner will have the right permission. So if I say here, git status, let us first check. So nothing to commit. If I say git log -- one line, so these are the logs which basically we have added. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 commits we have done. Now, first I will use git push origin master. So master is basically a branch. Again, we will discuss. So what I'm saying, I want to push it to the origin master, but it wants to know where you want to add that, where you want to push this. So I need to give the remote repository address. So to give that remote repository address, we need to, let's go back to our notes. We need to use this git remote origin, and you need to give the, so git remote add origin, and I need to give this repository URL. Okay, so this I want to give. So now my remote repository is added to my local repository, but still I did not validate that I am the owner. Okay, you know this URL, you can also download it, but I need to validate with my credential. So if I say git push origin master, means I am pushing all the commits of my master file to GitHub repository. So git push origin master. So when I run this command, 1 minute. So okay, so here it is saying that enter your username or password. So if you are using the Linux command, it will ask the username password directly. Because I'm using the GitHub, so I'm saying sign in with your browser. Okay, so here I will say okay, 1 minute. So here what I will say, authorize the Git credential manager. Okay, so I will go over here. Authentication is succeeded. So it basically authenticated with my uh, GitHub account. Okay, so this authentication is done. You may close the tab and return to the application. Okay, so I will come back here and I will see my changes are pushed to the repository. If you are using Linux or Mac operating system, it will be something like this. It will say enter username. So if I go back here on my Linux machine, if I say git push, so if I say mkdir, my project already exists, see my project and git init. And if I say git push origin master, something like that. So, okay, git. So I will create some file, one git add dot git commit minus m file is added. Okay, so I will show you in a bit actually. Here I need to create a repository, separate repository again. So when you means those who are using Linux or Mac operating system, they will get a different type of prompt where it will ask enter the user ID. So you need to enter the user ID of your GitHub account and then the password. Okay, so here now let us refresh this. Now you can see all the files are here. Whatever the files which I was having over here, right? If I say ls, so all the files are here except those are in the git ignore, right? So all the files are here. See 1.txt, 2.txt, 3.txt, 4.txt, and my file 1.txt. Okay, so that is how the git push command works, and we are pushing the changes to the remote repository. Now this code is in the GitHub repository. If there is a new developer comes and he says that I want to download this project, then how that developer will download that project? So let me go back here. Now, so if I say what is my current directory, it is the local config. So let me go one step above. Okay, and if I say git clone, so what is git clone command? Git clone command is basically creating a clone of your project on your local repository. Okay, so if I say git clone and if I give that that URL, where you can find this URL here. Okay, so Now git clone, so it will download the entire repository from your GitHub to your local account or local system. So now it is cloning. If I say ls now, so I'm in my parent temp directory. So you can see there is a new directory get created, which is the 1 minute. So what was my this is test. Okay, so there is a test directory get created. So if I go to test directory, okay, and if I say ls, so you can see all the files are here. So git clone command downloads the file from your remote repository to local repository. Okay, so this is the git clone command. Okay, so what we'll do, let's take a break of 15 minutes, and after that we will discuss some more commands which is related to the GitHub and Git. Okay, we will discuss about the branches. We have SSH just after HTTPS GitHub. How can we make a use is to connect it through the SSH? So you need to provide the SSH key, okay, and you need to store it into the GitHub. So in the GitHub we have the settings. So you can go to the settings, and here deploy keys, okay, and you need to deploy your keys over here. Okay, so once you deploy your keys, you can connect with the SSH, but it is not recommended way to connect with the SSH, because this is a this is basically on the web. It's always prefer you use the HTTPS method. Got it? Okay. Okay, so now let us take a break of 15 minutes, and then we will discuss about the branching, pull, fetch command, etc. Okay, so uh, so even actually, I don't think we can create the through the command line this repo. Okay, so now let us move to the next topic, which is the git push or pull command. Now, for example, if I go back to my code, right? If I add a new file here, so I'm going to add a new file. Okay, so my file will be say 5.txt file, and if you want to put something and you say commit a new file. Okay, so new file get created, but this file is on my GitHub repository. This is not on my local repository. So your local file system, which you want to use for push the files from your local repository to the remote repository. So you need to first make it in sync. How to make it in sync? So let us see that. So if I go back to my GitHub, right? So if I say git fetch command, okay. So what is git fetch command? It will go to the remote repository, which I have already added, and it fetch the new changes, but it will not show to the directory. So what I need to do, git fetch command, enter. Okay, so now what it has done, it found that there is a file which is to be added over here. Okay, and it is coming to the master. Okay, but if I see ls, there is no 5.txt file. So what you need to do after this, git merge origin master. Okay, so from the master branch, merge those changes. So two commands. First is the fetch and second is the merge command. Okay, so now 5.txt file is added into my local repository. So if I say ls, now you can see 5.txt file is added, right? So if you want to use these two commands, your wish, or there is a single command which is doing the fetch as well as merge, and that is git pull command. So let me add one more file here. Let me add one more file here. So if I say add, create new file, and if I create 6.txt file, and if I commit the change, okay, so 6.txt file. Now if I say git pull origin, master is my branch name. Now it is doing both the things, fetch plus merge. Now if I say ls, so you can see 6.txt file is available. Okay, so this is git fetch merge command, git pull command, and also we have seen the git clone command. Okay, so now let us go to the next command, fetch, pull we have seen, and clone we have seen. So all these commands related to GitHub we have seen. Now let us go back, and we will see now actually there is one more command which is not listed here. I will update my notes. That is that git tag command. Okay, so what is git tag command? So for example, you are having some versions. So far, if I say ls, so these are the files, right, which I have. Now, if I say this is my version 1, so I will say git tag and version, say 0. This is my version 0. So in my version 0, all these files, all these commits are there. Now, so push and pull cannot be automated. You need, because it depends upon the means when you need pull, when you need push. Okay, so you need to use these commands only. Okay, so now what I want to do, let me add one more file, say touch7.txt file. Okay, and if I say git add 7.txt, git commit minus m 7.txt is added. Okay, so this 7.txt is now this I want to make it as version 1. So I will say git tag version 1. Right now you create one more file, touch8.txt file, and if I say git add 8.txt file and git commit minus m 8.txt file is added. Okay, so this file is added. Now I will make this as version 2. So if I say git tag, so it will show all the versions, version 0, version 1, version 2. Currently I'm in version 2. So if I say git checkout version 0, so this version 0 means I am switching to version 0. It means if I say ls, you will not find 7.txt file and 8.txt file because this is version v2. So if I go to version, if I switch to version, if I say git and git tag, sorry, git checkout and version v1. Now if I say ls, see 7.txt file is there. So if I say git checkout and version v2, now ls, see 8.txt. So you can create different versions. So these are basically your code release. So first release is the second release. So you can create the versions in the form of tags. Now if you want to push these tags to your remote repository, you can put that. Okay, so can we tag file version? You just need to you can give any name. Okay, it's not a file version, means whatever. Yes, if you make some changes into version 1 in 7.txt, say an example, in version 2 you made some more changes, and if you switch to version 1, it will have only changes which you have done in the version 1. Okay, so now if I say git push tags, guys, just I don't have that command. Let me just check that. I will add that into my tutorial. So git push tags to origin. Okay, so the command is, so we'll see any of this command, git push origin hyphen tags. Git push origin hyphen tags. So I'm pushing my tags. Okay, so these tags are also getting pushed. Now if I go to my GitHub repository now, okay, if I go here, GitHub repository, if I refresh, see so far 0 tags. If I refresh this, so you can see there are 3 tags and there are 12 commits, the commits which we have done, right? So if I go here, so you can see these are version 0, version 1, version 2, and you can download it if it is for the if it is your Windows version zip. If it is Mac or Linux, then tar.zip, you can download it. Okay, so I'm right. In this case, we have git file history change and version on both side, local and GitHub. If I not connected with the internet, I can check the commits and work. So yes, so if you are not connected to internet, So yes, all the changes are on your local repository. You keep it on the local repository. When you are going to connect with your internet, you can push those changes to the GitHub repository. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is done. So this is the Git tag. Now we will discuss the next topic, which is the Git branches. Okay, what is branch? So branch is basically used for maintaining the versions, maintaining the different developers versions. So for example, there is developer 1, there is developer 2, those who are working on the same project, right? So first of all, if I say this is my master branch, so there is always a branch which is the master branch. So I have a branch, master branch, and here I have some changes, M1, M2, and M3. So let me just show you practically, then it will be more understandable. So what I will do for this, I will just, I will create a new directory. So if I say mkdir, say branch directory, you can give any name, and I will go to this branch directory and I will initialize this directory with the git init command. Let me just first copy that history and give it to you guys. Okay, so let me copy it here as well. Okay, so let me clear this history. Okay, now I'm inside the branch directory. I will say git init. Okay, so I initialize this repository. Let me create a file, say 1.txt file, or I will say create a file m1, m2, and m3. So I'm creating 3 files, m1, m2, and m3. Okay, so if I say git status, all these are untracked file. So I'll say git add m1. So I'm committing one by one, and git commit minus m, and I will say m1. I'll just say m1 is added. Okay. Now if I say git commit minus m, git add m2, and I'll say git commit minus m, m2 is added. Okay, so I'll say m2 is added. Now I will say git add and m3, and I'll say git commit minus m, m3 is added. Okay, so now we have 3 commits, right? And m1, m2, and m3, these 3 commits. Now if I say git branch, so there is one branch which is master branch. Now there is a new developer comes and he says that I need to work on the code which is in the master branch. So master branch is considered as the latest and greatest branch, means where you have the latest and the greatest code. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to create a branch for other developer so that he can start working on it, and that developer is needs all these m1, m2, and m3 files. Okay, so if I say, if I want to create a branch, so I will say git branch and the branch name. So say an example, my branch name is feature1. So I have created this branch feature1, and now if I say git branch, it will show both the branches, master and feature1. But Feature one branch is it's not a master branch, it's a separate branch. So you can consider it creates a virtual directory where you are keeping the files into that. Okay, so if I say, if you want to switch to feature one branch, then what you need to do, git checkout and feature one. So I'm going inside the feature one branch, right? And here, if I say git, or if you say ls, all the files are there, m1. So let me create one more file here, touch f1 file, git add dot, I want to add this f1. So this f1 file get added into the feature branch, and git commit, I will say -m, and if I say git commit -m, and I will say f1 is added by feature one branch. Okay, so this is added. Now if I say git status, nothing to commit, but if I say git log one line, so you can see m1 m2 added, and on top of that, fourth commit, which is f1 is added in the feature branch, right? Now I will go back to my master branch. So git checkout feature one branch. Oh, sorry, master branch. Okay, so if I say ls, so it should not have f1 file because that is under the virtual directory of feature one branch. Okay, and I want that file is, so it is something like that developer has created new file and he's discussing with the team lead by saying that I have created this file. So your team lead will review that file, and at the end he says, okay, this file can be added into the master branch. So then you are going to use the git merge command. Okay, so git merge feature one. So it means I'm merging the code which is different from the code which we are having in the master branch. So now if I say ls, and you can see the f1 file is available, right? So this way you are merging different branches code into master branch code. Okay, so this is git merge command. Okay, so if you use the tags, so tags basically you use whenever you are creating the versions, right? For one, in the master branch you are creating the versions, then you are using the git tag command. But now I have the different developers, and those developers are working on their own branches, on virtual on directories, then we create the branches. Okay, so there is a hand raised by Ivan. Yeah, Ivan, go ahead.
Hello, sorry for interruption. So here my question is, we have two branch, master and another one for developer, for example. So here we can say the master one for production and another branch for developer. If the developer branch after a test is successful, we can merge it with the master one and push it for the production, right?
Right, correct.
Okay, and about the tag, so the tags only work with the master, or only we can do it also with the developer branch or another branches?
We can create the versions in any branch also.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right. So now let us move to the further. Let's move further and see. I have F1, M1, M2. So these. So if you want to delete the branch, how you can delete it? So in the master branch, I want to delete git branch minus D option. I want to delete the branch which is feature one. So it means everything from the feature one branch will be deleted. Okay. So delete it. So if I say git branch now, so I have only master branch. Okay. So we have seen git merge command. We have seen how to create the branch, how to delete the branch. Now, if I say git and log hyphen hyphen one line. Now, for example, I want to remove this change. So which command I need to use to remove this change? Git reset. So I will say git reset hyphen hyphen hard and this head one. So I want to remove permanently this F1 file. Okay. So if I say git, if I say ls, F1 file should be removed, right? And if I say git log hyphen hyphen one line, so you will see there are 3 commits. Now I want to discuss the git rebase command. So what is git rebase command? In the git rebase command, basically it is this command is very much similar to the merge command, but you perform this activity on the feature branches. Okay, and let us see what it does. For example, I am going to create one more branch, git branch, and I will give a name F1. So new branch get created. If I say git checkout and feature one branch, and here I will create one file, say uh, say F1 file, okay, F1 file, and now if I say git add F1, so file is added, git and commit minus M, and I'll say this file is added by feature branch. Okay, so file is added. Okay, now this file is added by the feature branch. Now let me go to master branch again and make some changes into or create one more file over there. So if I go to git checkout master, okay, I'm in the master branch. Now if I say create one more file, say touch M4. So I have created M4 file, right? So if I say git and add M4, git commit minus M, and I will say M4 is added. Okay, so if I see git logs in the, if I see git logs in my master branch, it is saying M1, M2, M3, M4. Okay, in the sequence order. Now let me go back to my feature branch. So if I say git checkout and feature one branch, so I'm in the feature one branch, right? Here, if I say so there is some change in the master branch, right? So that master branch changes, I want to add it into my feature branch. Means I'm doing a merge on the feature one branch side. So I can use merge command or I can use a command which is the rebase command. So let us do this, git rebase, and master. So earlier we used the command git merge master. Now we are using git rebase master. So that particular branch, means master branch code, is added into my feature branch. If you see ls, so m1, m2, m3, m4 and f1, everything is there, right? Now if I say git log -- one line, now here is the difference. So here you can see file 1 is added by feature. This is in the end or on the top, whereas if you see the graph of masters, it is m1, m2, m3 and m4, means they are clubbed together, whereas feature branch code is separate. It is doing the same thing as the merge is doing, but only difference is in the graphical way or in the log one line when you see it. That is the only difference. If I do the similar kind of activity with the merge command, so my log entry will be something like that: m1, m2, m3, f1 and then m4. Okay, so that you can try with the merge command. Okay, and you will find that difference. So this is the difference between git merge and git rebase command. All right. Now we will see some more commands related. So before that, let me just take the history of this and share with you guys. Okay, and let me note it down here. Okay, so now we will go back again and let me clear the history. Now I'll say git branch and -d. Okay, let me first check out into master branch. Git checkout master branch. Okay, I'm in the master branch. Let me remove the feature one branch. So I will say git and branch -d and feature one branch. Okay, now very commonly asked question: if same file is modified by multiple branches, then how can we resolve that problem? So that concept is called merge conflict. Okay, so that concept is called merge conflict. So if you want to resolve the merge conflict, so what is merge conflict? First of all, for example, there is a file f1 or maybe some other file m1. It is modified by feature one branch, developer 1 and developer 2, and they both, and when you are in master, you want to merge these files, then you will get one conflict. That same file is modified by master branch, same file is modified by feature one branch or feature two branch. Okay, so we need to resolve that conflict, and that cannot be automated. There is someone who has to solve this, some difference tool or difference editor tool. Okay, so now now let us see that scenario, how to create it. So I have these files m1, m2, m3, m4. Okay, so I will create two branches: git branch, say dev1, developer 1. I'm creating another branch, git branch dev2. So two developers branch. Let me go inside the dev1 branch and let me modify m4 file. So what I will say, cat m4 line is added by feature one branch or dev1 branch. Okay, so that code I have added. It could be your function, it could be, means I'm just taking a example. Okay, so this can be anything, this can be your any code. So here I'm saying the line is added by dev1 branch. Same way, if I say cat, so if I read this now, cat m4, so you will see this system. Now if I say git add m4 and git commit minus m4 is modified by dev1 branch. Okay, I'm writing something like this. Okay, so this is modified. Now if I go to feature 2 branch now, so if I say git checkout and feature 2, that is dev2 branch, so I switch to dev2 branch. If I say cat m4, it will be blank because I did not modify this file in this branch. So if I say git and if I say cat m4, so let me add some code here. This line is added by dev2 branch. Okay. Control C. So if I say git add m4 and git commit minus m4 is modified by dev2 branch. Okay, so same file is modified by dev1 branch and same file is modified uh, by second branch, right? So when I try to do the merge, then basically what will happen, it will raise a conflict, it will not merge it, then some manual intervention is required, which basically going to solve this problem. Okay, so what I'll do here, I will say uh, git, I will go to my master branch, git checkout master, I'm in master branch. So first commit, first merge, if I do, there is no conflict. Second merge, it will give the error. So if I say git merge and I want to merge with the dev1 branch, okay, there is no issue. There is one line is added, and if I say cat m4, and you will see line is added by the dev1 branch. Okay, so this is fine. Now I want to merge git merge and dev2 branch. Now it is giving a conflict. Why? Because same file was modified by feature 1 branch or dev1 branch, and same file I need to which basically getting modified by dev2 also. So now master branch is confused which one is the latest code. To solve this problem, we need to use the git merge tool. So if I say git and merge tool, okay, so when you run this, it basically it is searching for that what are the different uh, files which is to be, which are modified and merge conflict happen. So it will basically with the help of this we can see what are the changes, whether we need to merge it, what to merge. So all these things we can see. So here we use a command git merge tool. So now you can use any of this editor which provides the comparison. So I'm using the vim diff editor. Okay, so I'm entering it. So this window is open. So on the left hand side it is saying the line is added by dev1. Middle, it is the master branch, it was blank, and third is the dev2 branch. Okay, so this is the difference. Now what I'll do, I will go here down. You can see all the code is available for all the branches. Now, as a team lead or the one who is basically checking that this code is to be deleted, which code is to be kept. So I'm deleting this. I want to keep both the code. Okay, so I want to keep both the code. So 1 minute. So here I will delete this one. I will delete this line. So I want this code. So if you decided that what code is to be kept it over here, you can keep that code. And after that, just escape :WQ exclamation to save this changes. So this is the VI editor I'm using. So it is saying there are some more files, local files. Do you want to save those changes? No, I don't want to. Q exclamation, exit without saving. And same thing on the dev2 branch. I don't want to change anything, exit. And okay, so now if you see, there are some files which is not required, like this m4.original file. So if you want to keep it, your wish. If you want to remove it, let's remove it. So if I say git status, so this m4.original is the untracked file. If you want to keep, and you can put it on git ignore file. But if you don't want to put, you simply say rm and m4.original. So I'll remove it. Now, if I say git status, so this is M4. Let us see what is in the M4. Okay, so M4. So now you can see these two lines are there, which we have added, right, for dev1 and dev2 branch. Okay, so now if I say git status, git and commit minus m, and I will say M4 code is finalized. Okay, so my M4 code is finalized. Okay, so this way you can resolve the merge conflict. Okay, so now if I say git status, so this is the actually new branch I have created, which is my, if I see what is the path, so branch name was branch only. Okay, so yeah, now I'm pushing these branches to the GitHub repository. So for that, what I will do, I will go to my, so this is a separate repository, so I need to create a new repository. Okay, so I will create a new repository. I will go to my KMIT solution and I will simply say github.com. Okay, and I will start a project, and project name I will say test1. Okay, you can give any repository. Okay, I will say simply create repository. Okay, I will add this, so this code is given here, so I will add this here, so this is added. Right now what I want to do, I want to push the changes to the remote repository first. So I will say git push origin master, so it will create a master branch. Okay, so if I go here and if I refresh this now m1 m2 m3 m4 all files are there. If you go to m4, those two lines are added here, and total I have done 7 commits. All the commits information is available here. Okay, and you can see the user ID is also recorded. Now here you can see there is only one branch, master branch. So if I go over here and if I say git branch, so but I have two branches, dev1 and dev2 also, right? So if I go to dev1 branch, so git checkout and dev1 branch. Okay, so here my files as of now different because M4 is different here, right? So it is, if I go to M4, so M4 has done this. So I push this this branch to my GitHub repository. So you need to run a command git push origin and dev1. So I'm pushing the code to the dev1. So if I go to here, if I go and refresh this page, so now you can see there is one more branch dev1 get created. Okay, and if I go to M4, see only one line. So basically you can create the branches onto the remote machine also, right? So if you see dev1, dev2, if you want to push the dev2 also, same way. So I will say dev2. Okay, so now here you can see so master, you need to mention the master branch if you want to push to the master. If you want to push the master, so master is the main branch, right? So now here if I say my dev2 branch, okay, and if I see M4 file, so this is a different. So all the branches code are here. So one more thing you can do, you can push your code to the global repository, right? And your team lead can see from here and he can basically uh, he can basically check the code and then he says, okay, I can merge this particular branch code. Okay, so now if I say here everything is fine, status nothing to commit. All right, now one more thing I want to discuss here, which is the stash command. So if I go back and all these let me first take this history so that you guys can okay, I will put this history here and I will share this history with you guys. All right, so now for example I am in the dev1 branch. Okay, now I'm going to discuss about the stash. So let me see, everything is covered from here. Git checkout, git branch, delete, merge. So this is the merge example, rebase example. All the commands you can see on this blog also, and git merge conflict. Okay, so all these things we have discussed. Now there is one command which is left under that save command. Actually it is supposed to be here. I will move it here, that command. That is the git stash command. Okay, so stashing take the dirty state of the working directory, that is your modified files, track files, and the stage files, and save it on a stack to of unfinished changes that can reapply at any time. So for example, I am in the dev1 branch, and let me create one file, say touch, say file1, or I'll say stash1. This is my stash1 file. And if I say git add stash1, okay, but I did not commit it. So it means this file is yet to commit. But if I say git checkout and master branch, so this master branch also can see this record. So, but you are still in the working, you have not decided to commit it. So this file is the file which can be, unnecessarily shown into the other branches. Okay. So you want this particular file is to be stashed, is to be kept separately, so that if uh, if you decided to move to the commit, then you will decide that later. Meanwhile, it should be in a separate storage place. Then you can use the stash command. So I will go to git checkout dev1 branch again, and I will run this command git stash with some message. So if I run this command git stash save, and I'm saying uh, stash file is saved here. Okay. So now if I say ls, there is no stash file, because that stash file I kept it separately into the stash temporary folder. Now if you want to see what are the different stashes, means you can do similar kind of activity multiple times, and you want to check what is the stash list. So there is one stash list on dev1, and it is saying stash file is saved here. Right. Now if you want to revert back these changes, which changes, which is stash 0 is having, if you want to revert back that changes, so you can run this command git stash apply stash 0. Okay. So I am reverting back these changes. Okay. So again, this will be, if I say ls, file is available. If I say git status, it is in the uh, stage area. Now I can commit this file. Okay. Okay. Even though I have run this command, which is apply command, right? So, but it does not uh, delete the value from the stash command. So if I say git stash list, it is still showing git that stash 0 stash file is saved. Now I want this entry is also to be deleted. Then you can use git pop command. Okay, git stash pop command. Okay, so now drop the reference, it will drop the reference. So if I say git stash list, see now that list is deleted. Now if I say git status, that file is here, right? You can drop the changes, means for example you are here and you run this command again git stash save some message, so you are moving again to the, okay. So now if I say ls, this file is not there because it is in the stash. So if I say git stash list, so you can see, so I want to drop this permanently, so I cannot revert back, right? So with the pop command or the um, with the apply command, you can revert it back. But if you say git drop, git stash and drop, and you want to drop this stash, okay, now it is dropped. Now if I say git stash list, nothing is there. If I try to take it back, git stash and pop, no entry found, and you will never get that committed file, sorry, uncommitted file, or which is in the stage. Okay, you can, if you want to drop all the changes, then you can use git stash clear. Okay, so with the help of these commands, you can uh, you can take this dirty state of your working directory, okay, and you can save it into your stash folder, which is our, from where you can revert it back, so that it will not be visible to the different branches. All right, so that finishes our Git and GitHub topic, and we will discuss the next topic, which is the Maven. Okay, one more thing I want to one more thing I want to discuss here. Okay, so there is a question. Okay, what is cherry pick? Actually, cherry pick is a tool. Okay, Git cherry pick is a tool which is uh, which can basically used for some scenarios we use it. So for especially for the collaboration, means whenever you are using the branches. Okay, so but we mostly don't use it. Okay, so it basically enables some arbitrary git commits to be picked up by some reference and appended to the current working directory head. So cherry picking is the act of picking the commit from branch and applying it to the another branch. Okay, so that is where the cherry pick tool is used. So that is about the cherry pick, but mostly we don't use because it tends to the duplicate commits. Okay, so anyone else has any question? Okay, so let me just show you few more commands related to GitHub. So for example, this is my repository, and you want to pull that repository uh, into your account. So what you can do, you can use fork. So for example, if I take any GitHub repository, GitHub repository for any repository, will say for Kubernetes. Okay, so this is the GitHub repository of the Kubernetes, and I want to use this repository. So how can I use this repository? I can go to that repository, I can download, I can clone it. But if I want to merge it with my my repository, what I will do, I will click on this fork. Okay, so I'm clicking on this fork. Now this repository, see, it is coming under KMIT solution and Kubernetes. So the repository is on my system. So now this is the GitHub repository which I forked. Okay. So this is one thing I wanted to tell you. And one more thing. I will go back to my, not here. I will go back to my repository. Now here, you want to create one new branch directly from here. That there is no straight way that you can create the branches in your GitHub. But yes, there is a way also. You can go to your branch, say, if I go over here, say an example, I'm in a master branch. Okay, and I'll say add a file. So once, okay, so there is a question. The question is, if I fork repo and the owner do some commits, do I get the same commit or not? You will not get the same commit. You need to pull the request. Okay, so once you pull the request, it will show the changes which you want to merge, and you need to merge it again. Okay, so okay, so from my repo side, or I have to go to his. No, you need to go you from your own repository. You can do the pull. So you can see here pull request. Okay, so with that you can from your side you need to say pull request, and that changes will be pulled. Got it? All right. Now, so I was talking about the commits, right? So the commits are here. Okay, I was talking about branch, sorry. So if you want to create a new branch, so you can create a new branch in the GitHub directly, but that is not a straightforward way. So for example, I want to create a new file, and file name, if I say test file or test.txt file, and if you come down here and you can see create a new branch for this commit and start a pull request. Okay, so if I say, yeah, let's create it, and what will be the branch name? Branch name is, say, my branch. Okay, so okay, if I say create pull request, one change. Okay, now if I go back to my code, so you can see my branch get created, and it has all the files which master was. So any branch if you are creating from GitHub, it will be created from the master branch. So whatever the files you are having over there, that files will be there, plus it is having the test.txt file, the one which I have created. Again, very frequently asked question, can we create a folder? Okay, see here we are talking about files. Can we create a folder directly into this GitHub? You can do that. How to do that? You can go to add file. For example, I want to add a file, and I need to create a folder, say document. So I will say docs slash. So when you say this, there will be one folder get created, and you want to create your doc1 file. Okay, doc1, and down here I will commit. So if I go back to my test1 directory again, see there is one doc folder get created. Okay, so in this doc folder there is doc1 file. So this way you can directly create the folder on your GitHub repository. Other thing, you can click on this settings. Okay, here is your repository name. If you want to rename your repository, you can rename your repository from here. If you want to delete your repository, which comes under this danger zone. So I want to delete this repository. So you need to be sure. You can say your user name, which is this. So I want to delete. I understand the consequences. Delete this repository. So my test1 repository is deleted. Okay, so everything related to that is deleted. Now, for example, I'm in this repository, which is my project, and let me just check. Here's my temporary file, right? Okay, so I'm in this repository, and I want that I'm a owner, right? I can make the changes into this repository, but I want that some other team members can also participate, or can be they can be the so they can be my they can also have the right permission. So in that case, what we will do, I will go to settings again. Okay, under the settings, you can see that manage access. Okay, under manage access, say means you are inviting some collaborators so that they can work with you. So you can click on this invite a collaborator, and you need to give his or her email address, but that email address should exist, or that account should exist on the GitHub. So if that account exists, you need to select the collaborator above. You can add multiple also. So for example, if I say some email address, right? Raman Sharma 95. Okay, so this one. Okay, so if I click on this, what will happen? The request will go to the email address of this collaborator, this group, right? Then if he accept that invitation, then he can be also working as a owner or the collaborator of this repository. It means he can also add the files, he can modify the files, etc. Okay, so there is a question from my repo side. I have to go to this. One second. Can I clone repo 1 to repo 2? See, repo 1 to repo 2, cloning means you want to do the cloning on your local system. So for example, I'm not doing this. So if I go back here to my GitHub code, right? And if I say, so this is my code. Okay, so this is my uh, uh, different repo, right? So if I go here, and we have created one repo, test repo, right? So if I say ls, not this one, cd dot ls, yeah. So there was one test repo. So So there is nothing something like that. You are transferring the data from repo 1 to repo 2. But if you are in the repo 1, so say an example, you are in the test repo. So if I say test repo, okay, here you can say git clone and your repository. In my case, this is the repository. So now my project directory will be created inside the test directory. So if I say ls, so you can see there is a new directory get created, which is my project, and it has its own different references. Then you can push it. Yes, you need to commit and push it. All right, so let me remove this repository as well. So we have seen both the scenarios. First scenario, if you are writing a code from your local repository and you are pushing that into the remote repository. And second, when the code is in the remote repository, with the git clone command, you can download the package, or with the pull or push command, you can pull the changes so that your repository is in sync. And with the push command, you can push the changes to the remote repository. Okay, so that is all about the Git and GitHub. We will use GitHub webhook concept in the Jenkins, but not now because we have not started the Jenkins part. So when I start the Jenkins, at that time I will discuss the webhook part. Now, next is I okay. So now next part which we are going to discuss, that will be uh, the Maven, which is the build automation tool. Okay, which is the build automation tool that we will discuss in the next lecture. Anyone has any question related to that Git or GitHub? All right, guys. So what we will do then, we will wind up today's session here, because Maven, I cannot cover even the introduction in another 7 to 8 minutes. That can be discussed in the next lecture. So if you don't have any question, then we can wind up this session here. Anyone has any question? All right, so I don't see any new question. Assignment. Okay. Thank you very much to letting me know that I need to give you one assignment. So you can go to this blog, and here you just search for the Git assignment. Okay, so this is the Git assignment. So you can try to, I will share this on the chat window. So you can go to this and this assignment and try to solve this. And if you have any question, you can ask me. Okay, so all right, guys. So let's wind up today's session here, and we will meet in the next lecture. Thank you very much for joining me. Bye for now.